is KFAN News with Chris Hockey.
Brought to you by Carboni's. In for Chris Hockey, I'm Zach Halverson. Good morning. The state of Minnesota plans to begin testing raw milk to see if it contains the bird flu. The testing is part of a U.S. Department of Agriculture effort to determine if the H5N1 virus is present in the nation's milk supply. The state will use samples submitted for other types of testing to help limit the burden on Minnesota farmers. The new testing should start near the beginning of February. The Minneapolis Police Department is mourning the loss of Mounted Patrol Unit Horse Haven. The horse died unexpectedly on Saturday. The horse was having surgery on an ongoing intestinal issue, but suffered a medical emergency during the operation. A memorial service is being planned for Haven. Hockey fans in Denver.
Can you hang on one second?
Sure.
Are we getting pranked?
I just sat down. I was doing something. What happened?
Like the 50th horse reference this morning.
Yeah, Zach.
He just brought up a horse that died. I mean, it was a police officer horse, so it's like, line of duty.
Yeah.
But why today was that brought up, right? We're getting... so this is one of those bits. Zach was hanging out with his buddies this weekend, and one of them goes, I bet you $20 you can't make 20 horse references on Monday.
Yeah,
and Zach's like, you don't think I can do it?
Oh, I'm so stoned.
So he hit the over, and it's 7:07. So many references to horses. What's going on?
Did you say it was a police horse?
Sure.
You hungry, girl?
I was talking to a horse.
I mean, that's a top 4 or 5 scene in a film.
I was talking to a horse. So
You
good.
hungry, girl?
Oh, man.
It's so brilliant. And I wonder who came up with that bit.
Probably Harlan Williams himself. Or Dave Chappelle.
It had to have been Dave.
Yes. You hungry, girl?
Because that's like right out of the Chappelle show humor.
It's so brilliant.
All right, Zach, go continue.
The two men who interfered with play during Game 4 of the World Series at Yankee Stadium have been banned from all Major League parks. Austin Capobianco and John Hansen were ejected from the game and banned from Game 5 after grabbing the wrist of the Dodgers' Mookie Betts trying to rip the ball from his glove. A letter to the pair from MLB warns they'll be removed from any ballpark or team office they enter and will be subject to arrest. After the game, the two told ESPN they had joked about doing something like that for years.
Are we talking facial recognition at all Major League Baseball parks? How the hell are they going to know if they go to a Mariners game?
Right.
That's what I was wondering, too.
How does that work?
And also, we talked about it at the time with those guys. And I think Corey and I stand on that guy could save my wife's life, and I'd still hate him.
He sucks.
Those
yeah,
guys
yeah.
suck.
I hate people like
hate
that.
those guys.
Yep.
And I
And the
love
fact
attention, but I hate
And
those
the fact
guys.
that, like Zach just said, they've been joking about it for years. You know what we should do? And then, I mean, obviously, all the stars have to align for something that significant to be, like, rip the ball out of Mookie Betts' glove or try to. But the fact that they were smiling while they were doing it, I'm like,
terrible.
oh, my God, I hate these guys.
Hey, it's Mussy.
I don't hate Muss. I like Muss. Hey, Muss. Muss is rocking a Skull sweatshirt. He's pumped for tonight.
Yeah, that's a sweet
yeah,
sweatshirt.
Burning both ends of the candle.
Thanks
Power
for
trip
coming
this
in.
morning. Doing the game until, you're probably going to do the post game until almost 11. Unless it goes to overtime. Good morning, Muss.
Don't say things like overtime.
Yeah, let's hope it's a 2-touchdown win and we don't have to sweat.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a blast.
We'll see. Zacho, continue.
All right, Muss, you listening?
I got you, buddy.
No.
More than 24 belly plungers are thawing out after helping to raise over $10,000 for the Dane and Merrimack volunteer fire departments in Wisconsin. The second annual beer belly plunge at Lucky's on the Lake, Wisconsin, took place over the weekend. Organizers said 27 people took the plunge into the lake, which is around the same number as last year's inaugural event. Money was also raised from sponsors and a meat raffle.
Have you guys done a polar plunge?
No.
No, I never done it.
Are they
I've
doing it, though?
emceed plenty of them, yeah.
But you didn't plunge yourself.
Same. I've emceed him with him.
Yeah.
Never done the plunge itself, though. Just cheered on other people plunging.
I've done it
Wonderful
once.
event.
I've done
And?
it once, and that was enough. The worst part was because it was in Lakeville, and then so once we were the very last to jump in, Yeah, of course there are some cocktails in there.
Yeah, there has to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course.
Hello.
Yeah,
Why
sorry.
else would you jump in the frozen water?
We're all going to have a fire, too.
But there was also, they had this like hot tub that was on a flat truck, and it was outside. So it was like, oh, sweet. You can jump into the cold water, then jump in the hot tub, and get some relief. Nope. When you're the very last one, it's just dirty, cold water.
Oof.
Oh, yeah. It was about a full day for
Get
me
some
to
relief.
actually thaw out.
Yeah.
Oh, but Eel Pout, we used to do that too.
Yeah.
We MC it, but
Well, yeah, I stood in the room, drank beer, and watched you MC it. Yeah, Chase on the lake, yeah. I got to go to work. All right, I'm just going to keep drinking.
good times.
Yeah, great times.
Anything else, Zachary?
Yeah, nothing particular. We can get to more of the Vikings talk. It's game day, baby.
All right.
Any more horse puns?
No, I'm done with those.
You're getting off your high horse?
More horse puns or horse references. All in favor, say aye.
Brilliant.
Nay. All opposed.
Brilliant. See, that's why
That's why you sit there.
Correct. That is why you sit there.
And that's why Muss sits there.
Oh.
What's that supposed to mean?
What am I, the horse's ass?
Why is Muss a chair 3 guy?
No, Muss sits there during the Vikings games.
Oh, I thought you meant that's why Muss sits where he's currently sitting. I'm like, that's the throwaway chair. That's chair 3.
This is suck seat.
Well, that's where Tommy sits, so
Yep, definitely the
couldn't be
suck
more.
That track.
Put the nail on the head on that one.
Do you know how many people in the last week have begged me to explain two cobras?
Yeah.
Because we haven't explained it on the air once. So they're like, I don't get it. I've had a couple people, I've explained it to them, they're like, I still don't get it. I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
Well,
I guess that's where this conversation has to end.
when my son Louis sleeps, he'll sleep like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll look at him and go, stop imitating your Uncle Tommy. He's sleeping like this.
So also go through sports. We'll do Fan 5 in a second. We'll talk a lot of Vikings and Rams after this with Michael J. Mussman III on the Fan.
The Fan. It's time for Fan 5 on the Power Trip, presented by All Around, your TimberTech deck building contractor.
The Minnesota Vikings battle the Rams tonight in Arizona at 7, pregame at 5 right here on The Fan. It's the last wild card game of the playoffs. The Vikings are 2.5-point favorites. The over-under is 47.5.
It's really going to be interesting to see how the impact of the wildfires really do have on the Rams. I mean, that's got to be really, really difficult when you got, teammates, you got the players, you've got officials from the Rams who have had their homes evacuated, and then to now have to go and play in Glendale. I don't know, man. That these are still people, right? And so that there has to be some impact on that particular situation.
But it's an unknown variable that we've seen a thousand times in sports, right? Whether it's post-Katrina or post-9/11, sometimes teams get distracted and just fall apart because they have so many things going on in their lives. Sure. And other times it is the true rallying point, right? Where it's, let's do it for our state, for our community, for our friends that have lost home. Sometimes it's exactly what you need for motivation. I just don't think there's any way of knowing that until the game takes place. But you're right. I mean, if they lose by 40, it might just be, man, this was a really rough week, and they were distracted, and they were worried about friends and family and this and that. Who knows? But like we've been saying for the last handful of days, no doubt it is an advantage for the Vikings to have it in Arizona over Los Angeles.
100%.
It just is.
for sure. Yeah.
The split's going to be closer to 50-50. And again, I can't wait to see exactly how that split plays out tonight. I wonder if anybody has tracked ticket sales and where the ticket sales are coming from. I'm sure somebody has. I haven't seen it posted, though. But what do you think it would have been if it had been in Los Angeles? 70-30? 75-25?
That's a horse of a different color.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Zach. What do
Back
you
with
think
the horses again.
What do you think it's going to be in Arizona?
60-40.
Rams?
Yeah. Because didn't we
Yeah,
see
I would
over the
so
weekend
say.
that they sold like 50,000 of the tickets? Rams and Cardinals fans bought 50,000 of the tickets.
Yeah.
Because then they get like a 2-hour or 4-hour head start before the Vikings.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe there's some resale value in all of that.
Almost has to be, right? Because they're not all driving or flying to Arizona from California.
I just love that Vikings fans are just so, this is so Minnesota. Think about it. I mean, the first team in history to have 14 wins and play in a wild card game.
Yeah, the problem.
So Minnesota. And then now have an asterisk game played, in Glendale instead of L.A. Man. So Minnesota.
If we lose tonight, though, if anybody complains about a 14-win team having to go on the road, if we lose tonight, then we weren't going to win the Super Bowl anyway, so who cares?
Yeah. Right.
Guess what the cheapest ticket right now to the game tonight is?
$8.
$20.
It's the National Football League playoff game, guys. I don't think you're...
I'll say
300.
Something like 80 score.
So
It's a lot.
80 times 20. $1,600?
Maybe.
No, just about 4 score.
Oh, really?
Yeah, $78.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So,
Is the
so far,
cheapest,
the
too.
resale market, very, very low.
Most of them are like 105, 127, 130.
Is this like the game we had to play in Detroit when they were just like letting people in?
Ooh,
And the homeless were just like, sweet.
with fees,
Be inside for a little while and watch a game.
With fees, you go up about 6 score.
What?
$111.
Oh, okay.
What's the most expensive? 3,600, 4,696. But man, that's a good. Like if I was in Arizona, I would pony up. Hell yeah!
There's a lot of Minnesotans that are.
I'm
actually
shocked
in
our guy
Arizona.
pony up. Brilliant. I'm shocked our guy Creasel didn't go.
I am shocked too. Why didn't he go? He still can. He's a Delta guy.
I think he passed away.
What?
Oh, unfortunate.
The Texans crushed the Chargers 32-12. They will battle the Chiefs in Arrowhead next Saturday at 3:30. The Chiefs are 7.5 point favorites. The Ravens toyed with the Steelers on Saturday night, beating them 28-14. They will battle the Bills in Buffalo next Sunday at 5:30. Your Bills are an early 1-point favorite.
So the Steelers, right, a month ago, Tomlin was in the conversation for Coach of the Year.
Right.
All of us, as we still should be, we're in awe that he has never had a losing team, right? Never had a losing record. It's still incredible. But now, what is this? Something like 8 or 9 straight years where he's out in round 1?
Yeah.
It's something like that. And I heard Charge talking about it on Friday that the Steelers fan base loves him. The guy's won Super Bowls. He never has had a losing team, but they're tired of one and dones.
Yeah, it's kind of the Denny Green thing. Or it's like, what have you done?
The Timberwolves with KG until they hit the Western Conference Finals. But that's all they did is 50 wins out in round 1. 50 wins out in round 1. Is this the end of Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh? Yes or no?
Hold on. I'm trying to find who
I'd
said
say
it yesterday.
no, just because they've only had like 4 head coaches ever or something like
I
that.
think it's 3 head coaches.
If you want to find a dynamite breakdown on it, Kyle Brandt from Good Morning Football had a wonderful break. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, there's 24 teams that would love to be one and done every year, but there are the 8 elite teams that would be pissed to be one and done every year, and you should aim to be one of those 8 elite teams. He just thinks that he said that he wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers and Tomlin had a divorce. And I think Tomlin would immediately be
He'd go wherever he
he'd be
wants.
the Bears head
sure.
coach, I think is the hot rumor.
You know. How about the Bears asking to talk to Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame?
How about that? Yeah.
The Bears list
They've talked
is
to
longer than my
everybody.
to-do list today.
I'm surprised they haven't interviewed you there, Saucy.
Yeah. I would do it.
Have nice little sit down.
Yeah.
So
These are my plans.
Kevin Warren loves me.
give me your general concept of Bears culture. What would you bring to the table?
Well, I know a few Bears.
So hang on a second. I just started an interview
What?
with you to potentially be the head coach of the Chicago Bears, and your first joke was about gay men.
I didn't say that. I've met Brian Urlacher once. No, I haven't. You're right. Damn it. You caught me.
Please see yourself out.
Okay, bye.
Let Mr. Tomlin in.
Yeah.
We're going to hire him.
He would be a head coach in 48 hours if he got let go. But also,
Yeah,
though,
I would think so.
But Russell Wilson also asked the bed.
He did.
He was
Yeah.
terrible the last
He fell
5
apart,
games.
yeah.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers are the betting favorite for Aaron Rodgers.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
What an enigma.
That would be interesting if
Enigma, whatever.
It'd be awesome if Aaron Rodgers is the one that ends the Tomlin streak.
Yeah.
Right? That it's his fault.
That'd be great.
But they're not. Man, what are they going to do? Russ Wilson, Justin Fields, Pasta Bolognese, Steve
He's on the
Lombardozzi.
team?
Well, not Aaron Rodgers. That's
Pasta.
Rodgers has to be done, right?
he absolutely is.
I mean, he already is basically done. He was horrible this season.
Absolutely terrible.
Zach, don't you think Aaron Rodgers should just ride off into the sunset?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're just beating a dead horse at this point.
The buck stops here.
Yeah. Mr. Ed.
You don't get this bit.
Okay. The Eagles beat up the Packers 22-10. The Eagles will battle the winner of the Rams-Vikings game tonight. The Commanders beat the Bucks 23-20 on a Zane Gonzalez who combed his hair and played with his hair about 70 times.
That was crazy.
That has to be his bit.
Oh, my goodness.
Before he hit the walk-off field goal.
What's his name?
Zane Gonzalez.
Who the hell is Zane Gonzalez?
She's an actress.
Oh, go to today's date. I added to the show.
You added to the show. Okay.
Yep.
Under bits or news?
News.
Is this going to be worth it?
Yeah.
What day is today? The 13th?
Yep. Just go 1-13-25.
Yep. The She Sounds bit.
Yep.
Carrie Elwes. She's an actress. Okay.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Not bad. Not funny, but not bad. All right.
I like it.
Thank you, Zachy. Mike Vrabel and the Patriots reached an agreement on a multi-year contract for him to be the New England's next head football coach.
They're just going to keep fishing off the company pier, huh?
I guess. He's good, though. He's a good coach. Tennessee let Derrick Henry go, A.J. Brown go, and Vrabel go, and they'll never be the same. They're a disaster of a
I just can't believe how they put Mayo out to pasture like that. That was nuts.
Zacho?
Yes.
Enough horseplay. The Wild lost 4-1 to the Golden Knights last night. Ryan Hartman scored the only goal for the Wild. The Wild battle the Oilers on Wednesday at Xcel Energy Center.
I mean, we're banged up, though, Zacho, right? We just don't have all of our best horses.
No. And that's the problem. And they're going to get some of them back. I'm hearing Kaprizov is very, very close. But once you get him back, once you hopefully get Spurgeon back in a few weeks. And
how's
beyond.
Moose feeling?
I don't know. I don't get it.
He can't make a horse pun.
I don't know.
The closest thing I could get to a horse.
I don't want to force it.
Oh, yeah. Let's not force more horse references. Jeez.
It's got to be organic, yeah.
Got to be organic, yeah.
But, big game on Wednesday night. You can hear it on the Fan. Hopefully just a really great week of Minnesota sports. Wolves win tonight. Vikings win tonight.
The Twins are sold to the Ishbia brothers.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be excellent.
But I mean, we do have 3 games tonight. We got the Vikings and the Rams. We got the Wolves and the Wizards. We have the Gopher basketball team in, Maryland. Just win all 3. Just, Triple Crown.
I think the
Minnesota.
That's good.
Oh. And you guys are good at this stuff. I'm behind.
Anytime.
The Gophers battle Maryland tonight. They are 14.5-point underdogs.
Man.
They're 8-8 and 0-5 in the Big Ten.
Only Big Ten team so far, Muss, without a win in conference.
God, and we love Ben Johnson so much.
He's a great dude,
Yeah. Oh, it's just, it's tough sledding over there.
And I mean, Parker came back for his 20th season, and he's got to deal with this. I wonder if he regrets it.
Yeah, I think isn't he the same age as, who's the guy that plays for the Hawks?
Tyrone Corbin.
Who's Tyrone Corbin?
At least
Who's
Parker will
Tyrone
get his
Corbin?
PhD this year.
You don't know Tyrone Corbin?
No.
Seriously?
No.
Man, sometimes I would have lost a lot of money.
Okay. The Wolves
Oh, you don't know Ty Corbin. Okay.
battle the Wizards tonight at 6, Maxo.
Yes, sir.
The Wizards are 6-31. Your Wolves
Hideous.
are 13.5-point favorites.
Yeah, it's not very. I mean, the Wolves have had their struggles this season. It's been super up and down, but this is absolutely a team that you should blow out by 20, 30 points. I get it's the NBA, but like we talked about earlier, I'm hard pressed to name a single franchise in any of the major 4 American team sports that is more miserable and less hopeful than the Washington Wizards. Just beat them down and move on because they need to bounce back after that really tough loss on over the weekend against Memphis.
So the Wizards are 6-31, like you just mentioned. That is the worst record in the NBA. They score on average 108.5 points a game. They give up 122.7. So they average a 14.5 point loss every game.
Jeez.
Think about that. Their average point differential minus 14.3.
If this
That's almost exactly what they are tonight, right? What did you say?
13.5.
13.5. So they are almost exactly just their standard point differential underdogs tonight against the Wolves.
If Parrish and Hockey were here,
I don't think they could name one. Outside of Jordan.
They couldn't name
one of them might remember that Jordan played there for a second.
But
otherwise,
if you said
they don't
no
know
to
Bradley
Jordan,
Beal.
no.
They don't remember. Oh, man, I don't know if they can name one.
Didn't
I couldn't. I know that.
Didn't Tyus Jones play there for a while?
Wizards?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, we can name
Max
one.
is right. No, they are just a worthless franchise.
I forgot they were a franchise. I forgot they were a team until I saw the Wolves were playing them.
Completely worthless.
That's sad.
And they've been
Jordan Poole is there now.
They're one of the worst teams of my entire lifetime
They've
throughout
been
the
terrible
NBA.
for 20 years.
Yeah. They were okay when they had John Wall, and they were a little exciting then, but they couldn't ever stay healthy. And otherwise, outside of then, they're the highlight of their franchise history over the last couple of decades is having a 500-year-old Michael Jordan.
I just looked it up because I haven't seen 1 second of Wizards basketball all year. Alex Sarr, who was the second pick in the draft, averaging 11 points and 6 rebounds a game. Yeah. But no one will ever hear about him, ever.
No,
right.
I forgot he went there. Yeah, the Wizards are terrible. What a disaster. They have to be the worst team in the NBA, right?
They are, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's really not even close.
And
no, because the Pelicans have a terrible record, but they haven't had Zion essentially all year. He's barely played. And they're 8-32.
Yeah, so
Raptors are 8-31. Charlotte's 8-28. But Wizards only have 6 wins.
Haven't the Wolves lost to the Raptors?
They did.
Yeah,
they
and
did
the Hornets, right?
Did they lose to the Hornets too?
Brooklyn's terrible. Man, there's a lot of bad NBA
There's
teams.
a lot of bad teams, man.
If the playoffs started today,
they don't.
And they
they
don't.
do for the NFL team, which we could now talk about.
The Wolves, though, would be the 8th seed in the West.
Yeah, that's fine.
Play the Clippers in the play-in.
Yep.
Yeah, they would.
Ideal.
They would.
13.5. Ugh.
For the right to play the Thunder in the first round, that would not be
sweet.
ideal.
Yeah, you'd get killed.
Plus 625 on the money line. You just don't see that.
The Wizards are?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, that is so bad.
Anybody want that?
Like,
My 625 against somebody's 100?
No.
Anybody want the Wiz?
No.
Damn it.
Nobody wants the Wiz.
well, give me a...
I mean, Hawk's
Nobody
dad.
beats the Wiz.
Hawk's dad wants
When
the
does
Wiz.
that offer expire?
Today?
Halftime?
I mean, before the game starts?
I don't know. It's a private deal here, so I don't know if like you had a...
No,
It's a
I mean,
private deal.
if that's the actual odds, if you, I will definitely...
It's on DraftKings.
I will put up my 625 to your 100 if you want the Wizards money line.
Wolves are 13.5 favorites.
Get back to me.
Yeah, get back to him.
I'll get back to you, man.
All right. Saucy?
That's all I got.
That's all you got. Okay. Let's do Vikings news when we get back. Muss hosts the pre and post and halftime. You're all over the Vikings. My guess is your prep is ready.
Yeah.
So you probably have some interesting things to say.
I might.
Yeah. Let's talk Vikings news with Michael J. Mussman III. You can hear him tonight because the Vikings game is on the Fan tonight, of course. 7 o'clock Muss pregame at 5, right?
Yes.
5 o'clock pregame with Michael J. Mussman III. Power Trip Morning Show returns after this on the Fan.
The Fan.
It's time for Vikings news on the Power Trip, presented by
Your truck accessories pro.
All right, Muss, I know a lot of people that listen to the pregame show don't think you are prepared, but I know that you are.
Thank you.
You do a lot of prep. I've seen your binder. It
Yes.
looks like Leslie Knope from Parks and Rec or Amy Santiago from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You guys like binders. You like a
lot of
files, highlighters.
Yeah.
You do a lot of work. In your prep for Rams Vikings, what are you seeing? What stands out statistically that you think is kind of an anomaly?
Well, mostly we can't have Sam Darnold having another game like he had against the Lions, where you could just tell it was between his ears. You're like, he's not seeing guys open. He's overthrowing, and that was weird about that is that prior to that he was one of the most prolific quarterbacks against the blitz. Now, the Lions brought on so much blitz. I mean, it was insane the amount of blitz pressure that they put on for Darnold. And throughout the year, he's been great at it, especially when you got man coverage and you got to go up against Justin Jefferson. Throw the ball to him. He's open, even if it doesn't look like it. But Darnold just all of a sudden just was seeing ghosts. He wasn't seeing the field well. He was overthrowing players. That was just an awful game for Sam Darnold. He cannot do that again against the Rams. Now, the Rams don't blitz as much, but they actually have a front four that's really pretty good. They got 3 guys that have over 7.5 sacks. And so they can put pressure on without bringing extra numbers in that. So then, you're going to have some more coverage. But the other part of that is, so if they're going to run like they did against us week 8, if they're going to do too high safety, that means it's going to be a light box. We should be able to run the ball much better than we had. And I really think that Aaron Jones tonight makes a big difference in this game.
Yeah, I think the other thing with this game, too, is you take out the Seahawks game because nobody really played.
Right.
That was 30-25, but they have scored 13 points, 19 points, and 12 points.
Yeah.
So their offense, I know they put up 44 against the Bills, whatever week that was, 6 weeks ago, but like the last 3 true games they've played, the offense hasn't clicked, right?
No, not at all.
And
in
Cooper
fact,
Kupp has been terrible.
In 10 games, they've scored 20 or less points this season.
They're very beatable.
Yeah.
I know, us Vikings fans are woe is me, and we're all waiting for the shoe to drop, and we're all waiting for this and that. If they lose tonight, this is a huge disappointment. They should win, and they should win comfortably.
Yeah, I agree.
At least by a touchdown.
Yeah, I would say
they
10
are
points.
the better team.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Losing tonight is a failure.
Yeah.
You should win.
It's going to be heavy on the coaching, too, because we were talking about this off the air, Corey and I, but if you look at...
You and Corey were talking sports off
Yes,
the
we
air?
were, absolutely.
I didn't
Corey
have a choice.
is
Was he
responding?
adroit with it.
I didn't have a choice.
It wasn't poker, but we were talking about sports.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you want to talk poker?
No, I don't.
So-
no, but with the coaching, we were talking about this is the fact that Brian Flores said exactly we didn't prepare for Puka. They didn't think that he was going to be that big in week 8, that he was just coming back. They didn't even know if he was going to play. So he was not prepared. The team was not prepared for Puka. And Puka went for 106. I know he didn't get a touchdown, but he is huge on third downs. And that's what he's been throughout the year that he's been able to play. Then the other side, you got Kevin O'Connell talked about, or O'Connor.
Depends on who you ask.
He had mentioned and even said, last week against the Lions, when the Lions brought all that pressure, he's like, I probably could have put Darnold and our team in a better position. So it's going to be huge for the coaching here tonight.
And I think the other thing that goes along with this game, and this has basically been PA's thing all week, was this is very similar to the 2005 Vikings where they rolled into Green Bay and everybody, that was the game before the Packer Vikings playoff game was where they lost to Washington and Moss walked off the field and all that. And everybody thought they'd get killed and it would just be over. And they went in 131-17. This is a very similar feel. They got embarrassed on national TV against a divisional rival. And now they're going where I know they're 2.5-point favorites, but I don't think a lot of people think they can win. I think everybody on NFL Network that does their pregame yesterday picked them to lose except for one person. So there is a lot of the national people think that the Rams are going to walk through this. This cannot be that way. The Vikings, this has to be a win. Yeah. I know it's a playoff game, and of course it has to be a win, but
you're the better team.
They're the better team.
Yeah. They're on paper alone, you're the better team.
Yes.
And
you can't lose this game.
Yeah.
This is
The week 8 was a short week, and everybody goes with that whole number.
And you got
everything
beat
like that.
up by the Lions.
Yes, absolutely. But no, I think that they are the better team and that the Vikings will, in fact, win tonight. It's going to be a tough one, though, if you're going to look ahead to have to go to Philly.
The Rams lost to the Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they've been up and down throughout the year, and like you said, to the point where it's like there's 10 games that they had, and there was 20 or less points that they put on the board. They're not like that electric. Cooper Kupp doesn't have the yak that he's had in the past. They have not actually targeted him very much in the last few games. I just think that the Vikings just are a better team.
If the Vikes lose tonight, maybe even significantly, who rants about it more tomorrow, Sauce or Jordan Addison's dad?
Jordan Addison's
question.
dad.
Who's more upset?
Well, I'll be pissed because 14 wins should at least get you one win in the playoffs. Should get you at least one. You win 14-3, you should win at least one game.
You're good enough. Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
I don't care if it's on the road. And after, I know we like to get ahead of ourselves, but after what we saw yesterday, that Eagles team is very beatable. Even in Philly, they were very beatable. It just so happens that Jordan Love is
Barkley, but
terrible quarterback. Yeah, but
we're not good against the run.
Yeah,
really.
but I think they can outscore them
or passing over the middle.
But Jalen Hurts has been, as they talked about in the game yesterday, where he hadn't played in like 28 days or whatever it was.
Yeah,
and that's not the Eagles team where they of old, where they would just destroy people. They looked very beatable yesterday, but you got to win tonight.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. And I think you will. I really do believe that the Vikings will win tonight.
Be nice to see TJ Hawkinson have a big game.
Yes, it would.
Like end zone kind of big game.
Maybe, get a touchdown.
Hey, actually get one.
Zero touchdowns.
I mean, we can't have Jordan Addison with 0 yards again because, again, we don't want his dad to melt down on Twitter.
Right.
It'd be nice to see Will Reichard completely clean from start to finish. That would be nice.
Yeah. I mean, you'd sell really low, but I could see that if the season ends tonight, I could see them trying to use TJ Hawkinson as a trade piece.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean,
he's one of the
big paycheck.
He's a huge paycheck,
and when he's locked in and playing well, he's a super good player. But man, when you're what is it, 17 a year or something like that?
So yeah,
he's made some drops this year.
Oh yeah,
right.
I mean, just last week alone, it was just like, my God, how you're a huge man. How are you not able to body guys out?
And Darnold missed him a couple of times.
And
that didn't help.
But when you traded for him, you traded for a high end, tight end,
and you pay him that way too.
And you pay him that way.
Yeah,
I mean, he needs to have a huge game.
Yeah, when he, obviously was hurt to start the year. When he came back, I don't feel any different about the team when he was here, when he wasn't. And he's
the second highest paid tight end in football.
You can't pay guys $17 million to make that little impact.
Especially when you're going against a Rams defense where the passing rate, they're the 23rd in the NFL, and their yards per attempt that they allow, 7.6. That's tied for 25th in the NFL. You should be able to pass against this
team.
Yes, you
should.
And the tight end by committee thing was kind of worked at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
If they're paying him that much money, I think Sauce is right. It's at least worth considering.
According to DraftKings, who is the most likely player tonight to score 2 or more touchdowns on either squad?
Kyron Williams.
Puka Nacua.
Sauce is good at this. Kyron Williams at plus 425.
Yeah.
Who's second?
Puka.
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Justin Jefferson at 5-1. Yep, is the second most likely. Ron Johnson just texted me. He said, how'd you let Musk get away with saying the Vikings defense isn't good against the run? Couple things.
Well, there's stat-wise, sure they are, but they have been really leaky within the last part of the season.
Sauce your hands up.
Can I answer for you?
You know why.
Corey A doesn't know, and B, Corey doesn't care, and he wasn't listening.
100%.
He wasn't, and I don't blame
wasn't
him.
listening.
I don't blame him.
I was circling some other stuff.
Yeah.
You guys had it on lockdown. You guys were going back and forth. You were doing a good job.
Aren't they?
Sauce.
You know
I
what
wasn't
you need
listening.
to respond to Ron, though, with? Ron, your thoughts.
Your thoughts, yeah. Well, in the last 2 games for Williams, they have not cracked 100 yards rushing in the last couple of games. So, yeah, maybe the Vikings will be able to stop him on that one. But, he's $12.99 for yards, 14 touchdowns on the ground. adds some yards in receiving, 182 with 2 touchdowns. But I still don't. I mean, the Vikings have had struggles.
Yeah, they've
against
also
the run.
Other than the game that they didn't play anybody, they've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight. Right.
Right.
That's a lot. But they played the Saints, the Bills, the Niners, the Jets, and the Cardinals.
Well, and then you think about it with the Vikings. Okay, they go that 5-0 run. We had leads, so then therefore, a lot of times teams weren't running the ball nearly as much as they would, and then they won 9 in a row as well. No, I mean, no, he's right. If you look at the stats,
right?
If you look at the stats, yes, he's right. That the Vikings are one of the top defensive teams against the run, but we've seen games where it has not been that case.
Yeah, much smaller sample size when you come out of the gates flying like the Vikings have and have forced teams to air it out. Right. So, and when they haven't been able, or when they didn't have to air it out, like, I mean, we've seen it. It definitely, particularly later in games too. And that's just natural when you start getting tired. But yeah, there are obviously major concerns. I think you're both right.
Yeah. Well, and then also we've struggled throughout the year with TOP as well. Time of possession.
Tower of Power?
Yes.
21 Pilots?
Yes.
Sauce, what else does TOP stand for?
TOP?
Sure.
Todd Office Patrol.
Ooh, good one.
Thank you.
Anything else?
The Ocean Picture
Pacific.
Perfect.
I thought you were going to say Pacific for sure.
Double P.
Yeah, take that.
Whew, got your ass.
Yeah. Were you listening now? Hey, turn on ESPN, Maxo.
Oh, hold on. What's going on here?
Damien Woody's on there. He's just trying to get you to say that Hawk would have slept with a female version of Damien Woody.
Right?
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
Tripled.
Yes, he did.
Quadrupled down on it.
He said I would sleep with a female version of Damien Woody. Max is my witness. Max said it multiple times.
I would testify in court.
Yes.
Hawk was home. Max called him back into the studio to clarify. He stood by it.
That was one of those days where Christopher Allen Hockey was cross-eyed horny. And he said, I would sleep with a female version of Damien Woody. Damien Woody, I think, is like 3'10". Yeah, and he said...
Looks like he's lost some weight.
He said yes multiple times.
Yes, us came in multiple breaks.
Yeah.
I was like, are you sure?
And he said yes.
Yes.
Yes, I would.
I absolutely would.
I like how you cited his weight as the reason, like the reason why this is crazy. Not the fact that
I think it's the opposite. I think as Chris is attracted to Damien Woody's work ethic.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's working hard to look as good as possible so he can.
He wants to be thrown around.
Happens.
He wants to be thrown around a little bit.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. For sure he does.
Yeah.
All right, more of the Power Trip Morning Show after this on The Fan.